Hi everyone, my name is Kirsten and I am a student at the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine, otherwise known as CCNM, and today I'm going to be talking to you about first year courses, going over what the courses are and what they entail or consist of. This week is Naturopathic Medicine Week, and I think it's a great time to educate people who are interested in the profession on what to expect when going into first year, because this is really the foundations and what you'll be learning. So last week I did a video on my personal experience with first year, but I didn't go into depth about the courses. So I thought this would be a great time to go over a little bit more detail about all of the courses in first year at CCNM. Now, most courses in any accredited medical naturopathic school will be pretty similar, but they might differ somewhat, as well as when they occur and what they consist of. So first semester consists of a lot of foundations. It's a lot less hands-on than second semester, but it really kind of brings together what naturopathic medicine is and how you can evolve in your learning and your skills as a naturopathic medical student. The first course I'm going to talk about is Traditional Chinese Medicine, otherwise known as TCM. So this course is a little bit different than what you may be used to if you have never taken anything of the sorts. It's a little bit less evidence-based, more something that's been practiced for thousands of years by people. It's very well known, and it consists of things like acupuncture and different parts of the body. It really encompasses things like the liver, the heart, the lungs, and how they impact a person. And it's just one approach to naturopathic medicine. It is a little different, like I said, but it is super interesting to learn about. So definitely don't get scared off by courses like this that are not as medical and evidence-based, but a little bit more different and traditional. The next course I'm going to talk about is Botanical Medicine. Botanical Medicine, as the name suggests, focuses on botanicals, which are plants and herbs, and how they can work in the body. So a big part of naturopathic medicine is supplements, and you really learn about different types of supplements and food, and how they can help you with your health, such as learning what turmeric does or what echinacea does or ashwagandha. You're going to learn about all of these different things, and it's super interesting because you get to learn all the details. It's a little bit overwhelming first year because you're just getting thrown all these new names and what they do in your body and how they may interact with different medications, but it's a really interesting and very necessary thing to learn, and I actually really like the course. And it's something I can apply to my daily life when I want to take a new supplement, when I'm looking into different foods, and they really apply to different treatments, so it's really neat. One of the more tedious courses is Biochemistry. If this is your thing, that's awesome, but a lot of people are not into it, that's fine. Biochemistry is super necessary because you get to learn about the breakdown of the chemistry. It's very, very basic. It's not going into depth, and this is the only time while you're at CCNM or in a naturopathic college that you will ever be learning about biochemistry, so appreciate it while you're in it. It won't last long. It's just something you have to take to learn the basics of the biochemistry of the body. The next course is Clinical Physiology. Clinical Physiology is a lot about the physiology of the body, how it works, pathophysiology. All these kind of things is really useful for learning how to treat a patient and understand what is going on inside their bodies. This course also consists of a lab once a week where you actually get to do a little bit of hands-on testing. And at the end of the semester, not only do you have an exam, but you have something known as the Auskey. So Auskey stands for Objective Structured Clinical Examination. And this is where you are put into a room and you are given a patient and you have to do some hands-on treatments to them, their vitals, and you have to fill out a sheet with a case and kind of take everything you learned in your physiology course and apply it here. You only get 25 minutes, so it's difficult, but this is only a pass or fail exam, and if you fail the exam, you just have to take a remediation course, and that's just like a 3-hour course, and then you can continue on. So it's not a super big deal. But the Auskey does apply later in medical school, so it's something that will actually count towards something, and you do need to pass the course. I don't know too much about that yet because I am not in that position and I haven't done that yet. Then you have anatomy, another basic course. You probably would have taken anatomy in your undergrad. I think it's a prereq. Anatomy is just looking at all the body structures. First semester is a very basic, like you're looking into bones and muscles, that kind of thing. If you have taken courses that are very similar, you can actually get out of the courses such as anatomy and biochemistry, which is awesome. I got out of anatomy first semester and it was amazing because everybody does not like to take anatomy. So if you can get out of those courses, I would recommend it. If you're still in your undergrad and you still have time to take courses, take anatomy courses, take biochemistry courses so that you can get out of these courses and not worry about them when you're in school, because they're just those tedious things that are necessary, but you don't need to spend too much time on them if you don't need to. Then you also take a clinic course, and clinic is actually only for half the semester. You have, I think, a couple assignments in that course. You have to do a write-up of a clinical experience because you actually have to go into the Robert Schnadd Clinic, which is at CCNM, and do one clinic shift for 6 hours on a weekend. It's on a Saturday, I believe. And when you do these shifts, you get hours and patient experience. You have to see so many patients throughout your career as a medical student at CCNM, and this counts towards that. So you only have to do this once this semester, but this continues to grow as you go up in years at CCNM. And then you also have to do another paper on a case that you do in class. Homeopathic medicine is another course that you take at CCNM in first semester. This is kind of similar in the sense of TCM because it is a little bit different than what you're used to. Homeopathic medicine in cases, different tinctures, and different ways of feeling. It's hard to explain homeopathy until you actually get into the course. It is interesting to learn about, but it's not for everyone. It is really cool to see all the different parts of naturopathic medicine, and it is very important to learn about them as a student, and then when you go on to practice, you can decide what you want to do. So another course you have to take is Biomedical Integration. Biomedical Integration sounds very intimidating, and I thought it was going to be this really hard course. Turns out it's literally just a buffer course that you take once a week. You have to do a couple tests where the professors from specific courses, specifically the more difficult courses like anatomy and biochemistry, they give some sample questions like they would ask on a test, give it to the professor for this course, and she puts it in a test. You have to write it. It's pass or fail, so as long as you show up and write the exam and hand it in, you pass, it's good to go. You have to do this like 4 times a semester, and then there's just random assignments here and there. It's really a course that is used to learn about all the different courses and how they can integrate, as well as just learning concepts and that are a little bit more difficult. So if in physiology there is a concept that a lot of people don't understand, then the professor for this course will go over these concepts, which is really nice, and she's always willing to go over concepts that you're not so sure about if you suggest them and send her an email or talk to her in class. So it's a great course to learn about things that maybe you're stuck on and to break things down. Another course is Naturopathic History, Philosophy, and Principles. This course is another course where there's a lot of assignments, and it's basically just learning about the whole concept of naturopathic medicine. So this is where you really learn all the basics and the principles of naturopathic medicine, and this is where your foundations come in. We also have to take a health psychology. So for those of you who don't know, naturopathic doctors have training in counseling, which is a big part of seeing patients, which I feel like a lot of people don't know because I personally did not know this. So health psychology, there's a few assignments, and it really helps you dive into yourself as a person, and also the interviewing of a patient, which is really, really big, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand that because we need to be compassionate towards our patients. So you get put into breakout groups, and after going through a lesson, and you go into these groups and you talk about certain things. Sometimes it's about things or situations that are going on in your life, and everyone can kind of help counsel through it. And then sometimes it's mock situations that the professor makes, and you really learn how to interview the patient and how to talk to a patient and counsel a patient and be compassionate but also helpful and guiding towards a patient's needs. This course is so necessary and so important. So definitely take advantage of this course because it's very important. Then you have principles in research, because research is a big part of naturopathic medicine. It is something you will be doing throughout your whole entire career. It's very important to do research and to understand what is happening. And then finally is ethics. Ethics is only for half the semester as well. You'll have half weeks you have your anatomy lab, and the other half of the weeks you have your ethics course. So that was the first semester courses, and I think that I'm going to make second semester courses a different video just because this is going to be a very long video, but I think that it's really important to keep your interest in these topics because it is something that you should know going into CCNM, and I think it's really helpful to understand what courses you'll be taking and what it's going to look like when you enter. But these are your first year courses, and I hope that this video is helpful. I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for your support, and I love you guys so much. Bye!